Hey guys, Global Girl here. Today is Wondering Wednesday. So I've gotten a lot of questions about how people can quit their day job and work away from home, telecommute, and find a way to travel and make money while they're doing it. So I want to answer those questions and I want to give you a couple of tips. So today, let's talk about what it takes to be able to not work a 9 to 5 in a cubicle and, have a horrible commute, like an hour to work and an hour home and a short lunch break. Let's talk about what it's like to live the life that you can travel and be free and work when you want to. So I kind of want to talk about first that it's not all as glamorous as it seems like it is. You definitely have to put the work in, and you kind of have to start in the point where you are asking yourself, first of all, what kind of person you are. And this is one of the hardest things to do because you have to ask yourself honestly and talk to yourself honestly about if you are disciplined enough to have a life where you are able to work whenever you want to and put the hours in. So it is a lot more flexible. It's a wonderful thing to be able to do, but there is a time when you have so much fun, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to get to work and I have to go back from whatever it is you're enjoying yourself doing and make yourself sit down and focus. So it is a lot of work to be able to kind of get back in the habit of working when you're out traveling and venturing and doing all those things that excite you. So if you're going to do something like this, I really want you to explore who you are and what you're able to do and what your skill set is, because that's the most important thing when you take off from that stability and the job that you know that when you go in, there's a routine, there's stability. You might even know what you do from 8 to 8:30, from 8:30 to 9, from 9 to 9:30. It may be so regimented that you hate that about your job, but you might actually need it. So ask yourself first, am I the kind of person that can be disciplined to work when I'm supposed to and meet deadlines on my own without motivation? So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing is that you definitely have to have a plan. You need to have a plan where you are thinking about your budget. You may be living above your means now. You may be living right at what you are making, and you might even be living below your means. And that just means that you have an income where you're completely happy, or that it supports you in a way that you're not really willing to give up the lifestyle that you have. And that's all about priorities. So you need to prioritize what your life is going to be like. So are you able to be the kind of person where you can give up having a car, for instance? Because when you're living a life of travel, you don't really need a vehicle. So do you have a plan for where you might park your car until you come home? Are you going to be the kind of person that stays out and about the whole entire year? Do you need a house? Do you need an apartment? Do you want to put things in storage? Like, there are tons of things to explore. Do you have attachment to things that are in your home or in your car or to your car? So those personal items and your possessions, you kind of have to ask yourself this: am I able to let go of those things? Or do I have a place where I can put them and they will be safe and I'm financially stable enough to afford it? Can it be at a friend's or a parent's home and not bother them? That's the second thing that I would think about. And, having that plan also includes the budget itself. So how much money do you have that you can support yourself without making an income? That's the first thing an entrepreneur always asks themselves. And you don't really have to be an entrepreneur to be working away from your regular job. Sometimes there are corporate jobs where you can actually telecommute. And that might mean they can afford to have you not in the office for 2 weeks at a time, a month at a time, or even for the entire year. It just depends on what your actual role is. So you'll want to explore, first of all, can you make it without an income for a certain period of time until you are able to establish that? Or do you have a job right now that you can turn into a telecommuting job? For instance, if you're already working from home 2 days a week, maybe your employer, if you have a good sales pitch, and I can help you with that too, would let you work from home or away. And it maybe come in for meetings. I have clients right now that actually telecommute and they just conference in on Skype or Google Talk, and basically will just kind of be in the meetings that virtually. And so that works too. Now, if you're looking for a job change, that's also another exploratory thing that I can help you with, or that any career consultant can probably help you with. So one thing that we do is we'll go through and say, there's programs out there and software out there that will help you be able to do this. One of them is Workaway. And I believe that program is set up where you can actually be away for 1 year and you're in a different country every single month. They arrange for all of the in-country transportation, and they provide a place for you to stay where other people are also working. There's usually a central environment that's shared that you will have Wi-Fi, and they take you to places that's a little bit more established, so you wouldn't be going to developing countries. It'd be more mainstream locations. I think that I've seen some that are going to Spain and Prague and things like that. So it's very exciting, and on your time off you get to explore the world, which is amazing. And then there's also Uplift and Upwork and Fiverr. So there's several programs where if you're a graphic designer, you can do that from anywhere. If you're already doing things, even for your hobby where you're working from home, chances are you can probably make money at it, and I can help you find out what that is. I'll also list the links below. You'll find them right down there. And you can check those out for yourself. And if you have any questions, just send me an email, or on my next live, you can just ask questions. On Friday, we'll do a Q&A session as well. So the third thing is to make a time frame that is reasonable for you for this plan. So during the time that you're considering, are you disciplined? Do I have enough money? What is my budget going to be? You'll want to make sure that your time frame is reasonable. So some people I've coached through this have been able to do it within 90 days. And I think that that's an extreme thing where they're pretty much prepared for it. They just need to know what this next steps are. And then we go through the task list and we just knock it out. The other thing is that you may have to consider family members. So if you have children, if you have a spouse, a partner, those kind of things are, can your partner travel with you? Can your children travel with you? Or are you only going to be away for a week at a time and you have, someone that will watch your children? Those are all things that you have to consider. The lifestyle is amazing and can be whatever you want. That's the total freedom that we have. So because there are so many options and so many ways to work that out, then you'll want to do a little bit more planning and some soul searching too. What is the best thing for you and your family? The time frame that I've really seen with my clients is if they have children that are above the age of 8, then normally it takes around 6 months to 8 months to make that plan happen. Now, the ones that I have that are single, we've worked through plans in 30 days sometimes. That's kind of extreme. So I don't know that I recommend that for everyone, but they've already been, in the process, but need a little bit of kind of tweaking to their plan and need some resources. And that's what I'm able to help with. If you're a researcher, this is a really good project for you to go ahead and start and building up those questions that I've already asked you, and then get the answers started for those. And then we can work through those little things here and there that are roadblocks. And so if you are basically giving yourself enough time, and a 1 year time frame is not too long. I know that it seems like a really long time, but when you're doing something you love and you're planning to change your life, 1 year is really not that long. I have a colleague of mine that I've been working with. She actually was a guest blogger. Christine Seibold actually worked at Harvard University, and she made an 8-month plan and was able to carry that out. So for 1 month now, she has been living her dream life. She quit her job, a great paying job just like I had, and is now living in Miami and traveling. She just went to Puerto Rico last week, and she kind of followed the itinerary that I gave out. And she's really having a great time. Now, Christine made a plan where she already had some work lined up, and then she went to a couple of other online programs, and she kind of filled that empty void where she had some income that she needed to fill in for her budget to be able to do the things she wanted to, and she secured work online from Upwork. So there are some other things that she's done, and I'll kind of share those tips with you later on. And maybe even she'll come back and talk to us about what her life is like now versus when it was when she was working at Harvard. So that would be kind of cool. So Christine, be looking for that invitation. Now, the other thing is that we talked about was attachment to your personal possessions. I really want to kind of emphasize that again, because it takes a lot of work to kind of go through getting rid of your stuff. We get really attached to stability, and we get really attached to things, and we might not think that we are, but we definitely are. Even when I'm traveling, I like to have the things that are, you know, my daily routine. And so I don't know what that would be like if I didn't bring my incense with me, or certain lip gloss, you know, I love my lip gloss. But there's different things that we really get attached to that we're not really sure that we are. But that's something to kind of practice, going ahead and purging out items in your life that you don't necessarily need or are not really attached to, and get those items down to a really minimal amount. If you think that you're the kind of person that can walk away from everything that you own, you probably are already ready to go ahead and live the life on the road. So be thinking about that kind of part of your personality as well. So not just are you disciplined, but can you get rid of your stuff? If you need any help with any of these things, I have many more tips, and I'll share those with you a little bit later on. We'll delve down next Wednesday. But if you have any questions or need any help with where do you get started, then I can definitely help with that. Or you can look at other career consultants online and do a little bit of research. Now, one thing I want to add is that a career coach and a career consultant are two different things. I have a lot of experience. I've been in staffing. I did administrative and executive career change coaching before. And now I am doing a little bit more of the consulting phase. And so I'm going to give you specific detailed list of how to carry that out. And I will ask a couple of questions that kind of get you thinking about the right thing. But a lot more of what I do is actually the tactical operations of carrying out what you want to do with your life. So I've also been an employee, and I've been an entrepreneur and still am and love it. And then I've also been an independent contractor. I've worked with the public and private sectors. I've worked in education. I have a lot of background in a lot of different industries, which is kind of why I feel like I can help many people get through that career change. And sometimes you might even want to stay where you are. So I don't want you to count that out. You might need to tweak your plan just a little bit and get a little bit more vacation time. So consider all these things, and if you have questions, please engage with me, and I would love to answer your questions with what my experience has been or what my client's experience has been. And if you would like to set up a 30-minute free consultation, I offer that to you, and I'll put a link below. And you can get on the calendar and jump on there for whatever time is convenient. It's a phone call, 30 minutes of my time with you, one-on-one, no one else. And you can ask any of these questions that you want to, and then we can see if this career change plan is right for you, or if we can start making the baby steps to get a plan together for you. So I hope this has helped you guys, and I encourage you to go to www.globalgirl.life. You can check out Christine's blog, because she actually did a blog about her transition. So I recommend that as well. And you'll see a couple more on there from me. And of course, you know where to reach me, Shannon@globalgirl.life, if you'd like to send me an email. Talk to you soon.